What's up, legends? I am in the Ironhorse garage. We have got the next giveaway bike with us here. It's the GSX-R 1000 and it's the latest evolution, the L7. This bike is an absolute masterpiece and I cannot wait to give it away to one of you guys. As I mentioned, always looking to step up the prizes, and I think this bike really has stepped it up. Looking to do something really special with this too, so it'll be a one of a kind by the time we're finished. And I will do another video detailing all of the amazing facts and figures of this machine, some of the specifications, because it really is an absolute masterpiece. Suzuki have really knocked this one out of the park. I'm really impressed. I've never owned a Suzuki myself. I've never ridden a 1000cc sports bike, especially a Japanese sports bike. I've ridden some of the Italian, obviously Ducatis that are classed as a liter bike, but to me this is the first true liter bike that I've ever swung a leg over, and I cannot explain to you exactly what this bike feels like to ride. I really want to join the big boy club now and get a 1000cc bike. My bike's just off screen here. It is a GSX-R. I've had that for 8 years. It's always been enough for me on the road, but after a little quick ride on this, I would absolutely love one of these machines. So yeah, we're gonna give it a real trick, one of a kind appearance. I don't think anyone's done this exact thing to the latest model of GSX-R, so I'm pretty excited to see how it turns out and get it out there. And of course, as soon as the bike's ready, the competition will go live, and I cannot wait to find out who the new winner is. And yeah, drop this bike off to whoever that person is. But for today, we will be stripping the bike down, so I won't waste any more time in blabbing. I'm gonna rip into this, get all the fairings, the tank off, and the wheels. I know a lot of people absolutely love this color scheme. I've got to admit, it is a beautiful color scheme. It does almost seem a bit of a shame to change it, but I promise you, I'm hoping that the final result, you'll see exactly why I've chosen to do what I've chosen to do, just to make this special bike even that little bit more special. And that's what I'm looking to do for you guys, is always get bigger and better bikes in here, really push the boundaries and get some special machines out to you guys. That's what Ironhorse is all about. And yeah, let's rip in. Just before we rip in, I have got some containers. I've got them down to Bunnings. These are about $5 per container. I've labeled each section with a number, so when I pull the bolts off of here, we can put the bolts into a numbered container. I'll make a list of exactly where those bolts came from, and that's going to help me put this bike back together at the end after we've done all the work to it. Whenever I work on a bike, I always like to work from the top down. It's going to be a little bit of a learning process. I've never pulled one of these bikes apart. Most bikes are pretty similar, with a few little variances between the brands. But yeah, plan is we'll take all of this side panel off here. That'll give us access to remove the seat. After that, we can take the tank cover off, lift the tank up, disconnect the fuel hoses. Then we'll remove the tank and start working into the tail section, and then we'll finish up at the front here with the side fairings. And last but not least, I've got to rip the wheels off too, so that'll be a bit of fun. It's a job that I don't normally do. I will be getting someone else to put the wheels back on just to make sure that it's all done a-okay. I'm not a mechanic by trade, so I can do a little bit of stuff with bikes, but any of the real technical or safety related stuff with brakes, obviously your wheels, I do like to take it to a shop just to get a professional to go over that and make sure that the work's all okay. So we will rip in now. As I mentioned, I'm gonna remove this side panel first. I've got the one on this side to do too. Then we can get the seat off and we can rip into the tank. Now, one thing I love about newer bikes is how easy it is to take the tank off. Some of our older riders or riders with older bikes may know the dramas involved with taking some tanks off of the older style bikes. These newer bikes have got all kinds of quick release, little fuel lines and all the rest of it. So no fuel spillages, super easy, super clean, and I'm a massive fan. Now, first things first, we've got a couple of hoses under here that need to be disconnected. And I've got a little bit of a method that I like to use to keep tabs of which lines go where. As many of you know, I am a Sparky, and Sparky's colours, red, white and blue. So what I like to do, I always work left to right. And in Sparky land, you start with the red and you go white. So just down here, we have got a couple of hoses, always facing in the direction of the bike. So I'm gonna take a little bit of red tape off here and stick it around here. So that is my left hand in direction of travel pipe. And I'm also gonna stick a little bit of white tape just on this other hose. That just means we can put these hoses back exactly how they should be. You can obviously I do normally take pictures as I go. We'll have these films, but as I am filming, I'm unable to take photos. So we'll get our long nose pliers here. We'll just try and get down into this hose clamp. Might have to go to the other side. Get a bit of a better purchase on it. Slide that down, that's clear. Okay, now we can remove these two hoses. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Might have to go back around the other side. There we go, that's the first one off. And the second one. Now, as I mentioned before, these fuel hoses these days are super simple. So we've just got a little green clip here. See if I can get my fingers on that. Pull the clip down. So that's released now. And I should be able to just wiggle this off. There we go, a little bit of fuel there, not too much. Older bikes, I'd have spilled litres. So now we've got all the lines disconnected from the tank. We can drop this back down. It'll give us access to the bolt that this pivots on. We're going to remove that and we can remove the tank fully. And you may have seen in the time lapse, I did forget to, before I tried to pull the tank off, I forgot to take the plug off for the fuel pump. Luckily it was just a nice little clip and I could unclip that, take the tank over there. So now we'll work into the tail section. And to start with, just gonna pop this seat cowl off. There we go. And yeah, we'll start cracking into the tail section. I've sort of got to work it out as I go. So good job it's a time lapse. You guys can save your time. It's going to take me a little bit to work all this out and obviously make sure we put all our bolts into the container so we can put it back together at the end. Now looking at the tail section, we have a few bolts in the side. Got a couple in the top here. Got a couple of little clips in the bottom here, and we've got this centerpiece that holds the lock in. There are a couple of clips here. So before we rip into the time lapse, I just wanted to tell you about these clips. I've busted a few in my time. There is a little centerpiece. You want to get a screwdriver under that, and then the clip should just pull out. It saves you damaging them. I have before tried to remove them right from the bottom here. A bit of a rookie mistake. Just hoping to save one of you guys making the same mistake. So that's those two out. We can rip into these bolts and yeah, get the last of these little clips in the bottom here, and hopefully this whole tail section should slide off. Now that should be all of the fasteners off from here. So we do have a couple of little tabs that just pop in here, and I'm hoping we can just spread this section a little and slide back. There we go. Gently does it. Oh, we've lost our little tail section there, the little lock panel. But there you go, that is the tail removed. You can see how sleek these tails are compared to some of the older bikes. All right, we're about a third of the way there for stripping this bike down. We will work into these side panels next. I'm pretty sure there's about 4 hex head bolts. We have got some panels up behind the front wheel that we'll need to take a few clips out, and that'll allow us to release these side panels. And then we can work on the front nose cone, and that's it for the fairing strip down, and then we can tackle the wheels. So let's rip into these sides, eh? That took it a little bit longer than expected. I'm a bit sweaty now, just for the concentration of getting all the clips. You of course don't want to miss any, force anything too much and break anything. I did have to go and get a light just to shine up in here and get those last clips, but we do now have the side panels off, so we can rip into the front. And once that's done, we've just got the wheels, and that's a wrap. Now, just before we crack this nose cone off, I did just want to have a quick chat about it. When these bikes first came out in 2017, there was a lot of discussion between lifelong Gixxer fans. I think a lot of people weren't massive fans of this slimmer style headlight, but what this slimmer style headlight's allowed Suzuki to do is to put these massive air ducts either side and channel that air into the engine. Obviously, that has helped them achieve the crazy power and performance figures that this engine and bike has put out. So this front nose cone, it might not be to your taste. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, but it is a blend of style and performance. And yeah, I think it's absolutely great. But we'll rip into this now, see how this all pops off, and then we'll have a fully naked bike. Now there's a little panel just up under here. We've got a whole heap of clips under here that I need to pop out. There's a whole heap of hidden clips in the front side too, and I think there's a couple of wiring harness clips inside here, so this might take a little bit of time to get this front nose cone off, but we want to make sure we don't break any clips, any of the little flaps that fasten all the fairings together, and make sure we don't miss anything. So here goes nothing. Now, as you can see, I'm having a bit of dramas getting this front nose cone off. There are a heap of clips and bolts and screws and little cable clips and everything in behind here. So I'm gonna have to probably go and check out exactly how this front comes off here. As I mentioned, I don't want to damage anything. So yeah, I'll have to go through a quick squiz and we'll be back.
A few moments later.
Well, I believe I figured it out. There are a couple of little pins just inside here, which are really, really hard to get to. They're even hard to see. So I got a couple of clips in there. We've got a couple of, I've taken one out this side. I got another one this side. It just holds the air vents to the body. I've got a couple of bit of the wiring loom under here, and there's the headlight, the indicator loom on this side. So they're just held on by a couple of little clips with zip ties through. So yeah, I've just got to snip those, take these couple of bolts out, get those pins down in the front there, and fingers crossed this should just all slide off. And there we are, guys. We finally got the front nose cone off. I should have really separated each individual part where the air ducts go through. The wiring loom sort of sneaks up through there, and I already had it hanging, so it was really quite difficult to separate the nose cone and the air vents. So I just traced the wire back just to down here. We had another couple of clips. Yeah, undone a couple of plugs, and yeah, it all came out. So I'm super stoked that it's all done now. We of course still need to get this front fender off. We don't have a rear one on the Gixxer, and that's pretty much all the fairings done. I'm not sure if I will get to video the removal of the wheels in this little video, just because of the limited space that we got here. I'm gonna drop this off the stands, move it into a good spot out of the way while it sort of sits for a week or so. And yeah, I'll whip those wheels off. But the good news is, guys, I'm pretty certain I can drop these fairings off and the wheels this weekend. As I mentioned, I'm really looking forward to just seeing how this turns out. And yeah, as soon as I've got some teasers to send your guys' way, I'll be uploading them through the Facebook and Instagram pages. But that just about wraps it up. I will we'll whip this off now, and yeah, that's about it. Well, that wraps it up, guys. We've successfully stripped this GSX-R 1000 down. I've got all the parts just behind the camera there. I'm just gonna get busy, wrap all of them up, get them all crated up, and we can take them to the paint shop. So as I mentioned, I'm really hoping to get this bike finished and ready to go as soon as possible. I'm looking at, hopefully, fingers crossed, doing one bike every month this year. So Ironhorse's goals for 2025. So this will be January's bike. Obviously we're already a few days into January, and the time is going quicker than ever. So the quicker we can get this bike all done and launched for you guys, it's going to be a win-win for everyone. This bike in particular, we are going to have, it's probably our craziest bike yet, but we are bringing the entrant cap right down just to match the CCs of the bike. So there will be only 1,000 entrant spots for this bike, super limited entries, and it's going to be our shortest draw ever too. So looking at around the 3-week mark, and that means that between when you buy your ticket and when you know you've won, if you've won the bike, is a shorter time. And obviously, the quicker we can get these bikes out to everyone, the more bikes we can do, the more funds we can raise for all the causes. And yeah, keep growing Ironhorse and keep impacting the community as we plan to do. But I'm gonna, while this is all stripped down, I am gonna give it a bit of a clean. It's not too dirty, it's only obviously a few years old. There's a bit of dust up here on the airbox, but we'll clean all of that stuff up. Moving into position, drop the wheels off, pack everything up like I said, get it to the paint shop to give it its fresh new look, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what this bike turns out like. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and yeah, I'll see you soon with a very different GSX-R. Cheers.